a lot of antagonism. I think it's really important to, give their... Hello, all Israel News viewers. I'm Moran, and I'm here in the center of Jerusalem next to Café Basimta. And I basically reported to you guys today about the controversy that's happening here, in which a Messianic Jewish cafe has been opened, and the Orthodox community is not okay with them being open on Shabbat. So this is a few weeks in a row already that the Orthodox community has come out to protest, but also that the secular, if you will, community has come to counter-protest. We're in the eye of the storm. It's pretty crazy here. There are attempts at conversations here. I don't know what type of conversations people are actually able to have when they're screaming over each other, but it's sort of a screaming match at some point. So they've come to protest in the last few weeks. In the beginning, they didn't know that this coffee shop is run by Messianic Jews, basically.
Absolutely not. The first couple of times they came, they had no idea of the identity of the people that run this coffee shop. It wasn't part of the question. It wasn't part of the conversation. And I'll be honest with you, most weeks, it hasn't been part of the conversation of the protesters either. And that's why, to add to the complexity of outside, a lot of people have come to support the coffee shop. Because they believe, the Hebrew term would be liberal. They believe in a pluralistic country, a country where I can be a believer in Jesus and open a coffee shop. Some other dude can open up a club and other people can go and pray, and we can all do it at the same time, and that's fine. We are believers in Jesus, opening a coffee shop, trying to be authentic about who we are and create community, but we found ourselves in the middle of a massive political conversation.
I've seen a lot of, my Jewish friends be angry about the fact that what they believe is that the secular population has been used as what they call a human shield, as if the coffee shop has been hiding the fact that they're Messianic Jews, their association to Jews for Jesus, and now they're saying you have come to actually convert us under the guise of, no, we're just secular, we just want everyone to enjoy a space. What's the truth here?
Yeah, so the truth is that we have been open about who we are from the very beginning. So one of the more prominent people, Adir Schwartz, who was the deputy mayor of Jerusalem, he has been here from before the protests, and we had conversations, and I was very open about who I am. I don't impose the metaphysical questions of faith and truth and God to people just coming to order a cup of coffee, but everyone who gets to know me and my staff finds out exactly who we are. We're very open and very honest about that. So at no point have we hidden things, but we didn't hang a cross over the front door. We didn't put big signs, because we don't think that somebody who just wants to come and enjoy our excellent coffee needs to necessarily engage in a conversation that they weren't looking for when they came to get a coffee. Again, people can also opt in and opt out of that conversation. What I found interesting, and in my opinion, sort of points towards a certain level of prejudice, is that asking questions about the identity of a coffee shop runner or manager, is only interesting to people when they believe in Jesus. If I was a Jew that believed in Buddha or a Jew that believed in something else, those questions and insinuations and suspicions wouldn't exist. On one hand, I get it. I understand why people are sort of like taken aback by our faith. I don't think that it justifies the speculatory sort of view that we're somehow manipulating people just because we're not talking about our faith straight away, or because we create community. I think there's some prejudice there as well.
So one of the purposes of Yehudim Leman Yeshua, Jews for Jesus, is to share the message of Yeshua. Would you say that it was understandable people thought there's foul play, because in actuality there is a mission here behind this cafe?
I don't think that the accusation is legitimate, because what people can find at this coffee shop, and I'm saying can find at this coffee shop, is a spiritual conversation about Jesus. Yeah? But it's not a conversation that they are going to find or be manipulated into or forced into. So I don't believe that it is foul play for people with a bigger vision than just coffee to open a coffee shop. We have other parts of that, of the reason we open the coffee shop, to create community, to make a place for students. Now, I hope people come in and ask questions about who I am, right? But if people don't, then they don't, yeah? That's not foul play or manipulation. That's just trying to create opportunities for people to get to know another part of Israeli society that they probably haven't met or engaged.
So you're saying basically we exist too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We exist to care for people, we exist to love people, demonstrate that we do that because of something that's happened in our lives.
So the fact of the matter is that Yehudim Mashiachim, Messianic Jews, do keep the Sabbath. And some Messianic Jews say you shouldn't be open on the Sabbath because that's work. So what's your point of view on that?
I think one of the verses I keep talking about when discussing this with someone who wants to have a theological conversation has been Jesus's very clear conversation about the Sabbath when he said that the Sabbath is for man, not man for the Sabbath. And so for us, the question is, how do we live out the gospel on the Sabbath, right? And the gospel involves, one, self-sacrifice. I don't get to chill on Shabbat. Number two, it involves service and care, right? So I think that by providing a space for people to come and relax and drink their coffee and sort of engage with a part of experiencing Sabbath that is very 21st century, I think is actually doing something that's very Sabbath honoring.
Some people say that Jerusalem, because it's considered like our capital, our holy city, that it's extremely sensitive to open on Shabbat, and that there should be one place in which there should be nothing open. How do you see that?
I think that Jerusalem is an open, democratically run city, and there are large portions of the populations that want to go out on Saturday for entertainment, to eat, whatever, sport, all kinds of reasons, and they should be allowed to do that. There is a religious minority, and they live in their neighborhoods, and they have their own synagogues and way of life, and that's fine. And the same way that I don't go into Babadem on Saturday and try to close down their synagogues, I don't think they should come into the center of town and try to close down the coffee shops.
We're going to walk outside. I'm going to show you guys just how busy it is. It's really busy because there's a long line that keeps on going because people keep coming and supporting. And I don't even know that I can show you guys the whole line so much from here, but it literally wraps around the whole premise on the outside, and people just keep flooding in because they want to support. And on the inside, actually, it's very chill. You don't feel the antagonism on the inside. Okay, so this is how it looks. You have
חשוב לי פשוט להראות להם, גם לבעלים של הבית קפה וגם לאנשים שגרים בירושלים, שזה לא הפקרות ולא יסגרו אותנו עוד יותר ועוד יותר ועוד יותר, ומספיק איפה שאני גרה, ליד גשר המיתרים, אין לי מה לאכול בשבת, אין שום דבר פתוח באזור, אין לי לאיפה ללכת. וזה מאוד ריגש אותי להגיע לפה ולראות כל כך הרבה אנשים שחיכו שעות בחום.
Okay, so it's really interesting because we're not just seeing protests about the fact that they're open on Shabbat. You also see protests that are completely political. So who the land belongs to, settlers, things that have absolutely nothing to do with the fact that it's open on Shabbat. they're just walking around and people are having conversations, random conversations with each other. And yeah, so a lot of people will try to keep you from filming, but I'm not going to stop. It has to do with suddenly politics and who the land belongs to. There's a lot of antagonism. I think it's really important to, if there... יש פה שוטרים, יש פה צבא. So it's a little bit intimidating, right? You have people that come at you with their little sticks and all these things. But I think it's important that you guys see what's actually happening here, because the moment that the police actually leave or the army isn't here, you can actually get hurt. I wouldn't put it past someone to actually harm me physically here. And that's how it is right now. So it's a bit crazy. What has happened is that they have literally come and banged on the windows. They have, they've flipped over tables, they've flipped over chairs, they've thrown things around. And it has become very violent, which is some of the reason why you can see that they didn't even allow them inside, but they sort of kept them outside. Now there are more places that are open on Shabbat, and they perhaps would have protested those in the beginning, but not anymore, because those places basically overcome. They said that they're not willing to close on Shabbat, no matter how much pressure is on them, and that's basically the end of the matter. And so this is a new place that's opened, and so they're trying their hand, basically making sure that they will get tired and that they will close on the Sabbath. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are a person of faith, please continue to pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Hit the notification bell, hit subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next one.